Hey guys, Charlani here. Today we're switching out all the inserts in my current planner and I'm switching over to our 2025 inserts. And I'm switching back to the setup that I always seem to revert back to after trying new things. And I feel like this past year, all I've been doing is trying out new things. I'll explain all of that as we get into it. Welcome back, and if you're new here, hello again. My name is Charlani. I'm the owner of Live Happy Label. We're an online planner and stationery shop, and here on this channel, I share behind the scenes as well as things that simply make me happy, bring me joy in general, and that is definitely my planner. So if you're new here, I'd love for you to pause me really quick, hit that subscribe button so that we can stay connected. All right, let's get into this. So now you'd think that this process would be easier for me, right? But as you're gonna see, making final decisions, eliminating things isn't always easy for me. But in the end, I'm so happy with my final setup. I'm wanting to start with a clean slate, so I'm taking everything out of my rings. Now, as a planner company, I'm trying new things all the time, new layouts, new sections. I'm trying out new packs. And let me be transparent, I am a creature of habit, and I absolutely do not love switching up my setup often. I prefer to keep it the same. In fact, I've decided to not do that anymore. And the setup that I'm going to use here is our base foundation setup, a monthly calendar, a weekly planner, and to-dos. Now, I'm adding in notes and the task and habit trackers, but that is all I want in my everyday planner. This is the planner that I take with me everywhere. And a lot of what's here is business stuff and inserts I've been testing. And I'm deciding to keep all of that separate. And since I made that decision, my life just feels so much lighter. Now, I know a couple of you saw in one of my reels, I think it was one of my reels, that little pocket right there. That is another thing that I had been testing out because I had actually gone through, so this is the 2025 dated monthly inserts. Love. And if you want to know, the setup of the daily inserts is a little bit different than the undated. I've tweaked up just a few things, but not too many things. But it's a little tiny bit different. And all of our inserts will come with that cover sheet that just says 2025. This one says monthly calendar. And then you'll see all 12 months are here. Anyhow, I have been testing out lots of different things for our planners, and I usually test things out 3 to 6 months before it actually hits the shop, just because I want to make sure that it works well and it makes sense also. Now, it's just a plastic insert. It's just a sticky adhesive sleeve that you can add on. But I've gone through, by the way, don't open your planner like that. Don't just grab the rings, which you're going to see me do here probably 100 times because it's a really, don't do that. It's a really bad habit that I've gotten into. I'm trying to be better. And definitely since watching this back and editing through these clips, I am like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But so just don't pull them apart like that. Use the mechanisms that are on the top and the bottom. That's how you technically should be opening your rings, because eventually over time they're going to start to misalign when you close them. Now, I've been using this exact binder and these rings for over a year and they're just fine. But as the creator of the Tropical Bloom binders, please don't do as I do here and always open and close your rings gently. Now, this is the time blocking weekly, that's a mouthful, time blocking weekly planner insert. Now, this is my go-to because it's so versatile, and I've intentionally left the time slot blank because we all start our days at different times. So each week has a simple daily tracker and a place for top weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. Now, I like to keep the prompts simple because, at least for me, too many prompts and sections can be overwhelming. Now, we do have a vertical weekly planner as well as a horizontal layout. So depending on which resonates most with how your brain works and how you structure your schedule, your day, one of them will work for you for sure. Oh my gosh. Okay, back to the pocket. I can't remember if I closed that loop or not, but I've been testing this one for the last few weeks, and so far this is the clear winner. We needed to find one that stuck well to the vegan leather of our tropical bloom binders. The florals are a bit embossed, so we needed something pretty specific, and we finally found this one, and so far so good. So we'll see if it hits the shop. These are our daily to-do list inserts, and a favorite of so many of you. We have this in the notepad form too, but I love these lists. The layout works for just about any schedule, and in my humble opinion, it has the perfect amount of prompting. And when I say prompting, I mean ideas for how to use this section within the layout. Now, obviously, you can use them however makes most sense for you, but you'll have an idea at least of what each section is intended for. And by the way, most of our insert packs have a page of like suggested uses and ideas. For example, in our notes insert packs, I've given some suggestions on how to use the blank pages. So you can definitely simply just use them as you see them, or you can be creative, switch it up, whatever makes sense for you. Now, these are our half-page to-do list inserts. Also love these. And my favorite way to use them is as a running to-do list. I like to keep it front and center, and then I can easily move it from week to week. Now, we also have a couple of other half-page inserts. One is it's a slightly different layout to the to-do list, but we also have a shopping list half page, which comes in super handy on weeks when you have shopping to do. Now, I've started a bag there because here's the thing, and I'll preface with, I love a stuffed planner. However, you really shouldn't overfill your rings. It makes it difficult to take things in and out if you have too many pages in there, and I don't need all 90 days worth of to-dos. So I'll just keep them handy, and then I'll refill them as I need. These are the mixed note inserts, and the layout here is one of my favorites for note taking. I love the 3 sections, lines, columns, and grids, and we just made this into an 8.5 by 11 notepad, which looks amazing in our tropical bloom clip folios. But these notes are awesome, so I'm grabbing a handful to keep in my planner, and then I'm saving the rest for when I need to restock later. I'm also kind of thinking that we might need to have some kind of insert pouch or a pretty bag. I usually keep my extra inserts in a separate binder, but I'm kind of loving the bag concept. I'm feeling a little bit like we can do better than just a plastic bag. So we may need to add that to our 2025 new product goals. So we just launched these bad boys when we launched our 2025 inserts in November. And I'll just say, over these next few weeks, I'm going to be sharing how I'm using my inserts, and these trackers have changed the game for me when it comes to keeping track of my daily tasks, especially for my daily admin power hours and social media posting. Like, game changer. But I'll definitely share how I'm using things, because maybe it'll spark some ideas for you and how a layout might be able to work for you too. Now, I'm kind of just taking a look at how thick my binder is at this point, because like I said, trying to be mindful about not overstuffing my rings. And so it's at this point when I'm deciding that I don't want to add in my health and fitness inserts here. I'm actually going to put those in their own binder, and I'm going to keep it in the kitchen. That seems to make most sense for me. And I'm switching up some of the labels on my tabs here, by the way. If you're curious, these are Lashify tweezers because they're pretty, but I love them so much. You can use any kind of tweezers to place your stickers. It just helps to be precise. And if you're like me, nothing is worse than a crooked or off-center label sticker on a tab. makes me crazy. So now I'm just going to play with my tabs, move things around, but I have what I want in here, and it's the perfect base. Now, the foundational planning system for Live Happy Label has 3 prongs. It should be, again, in my honest, humble opinion, it should be the base for all planners. A monthly calendar to keep track of important dates, a weekly planner to manage time throughout the week, and a daily to-do list to stay productive and focused each day. Now, you can absolutely add to that for sure, but at its core, always remember that a planner simply takes everything that you've got going on in your life and it puts it all into one place, one organized place. I've been a planner for decades now, but I had to get really serious about managing my time because I had young kids and my medical billing company was growing and I was juggling a ton. Rob traveled throughout the week, so I had the duties of a single mom, like Monday through Thursday. And Kaylee danced and cheered, and Robbie played sports. There was a lot to keep track of. So planners became my lifeline to get organized and stay organized. And I'm religious about it, obviously. I have a planner company now, which, by the way, had been a dream for so many years. I've been creating planners, sharing them with my girlfriends for many years now. But I'm so happy that I took the leap. And for those of you who already have one of our planners, or for anybody actually who has supported me and Live Happy Label, thank you so much. We've come so far and I cannot wait for all the things that are in the works right now. It's going to be a great fun year. Man, it's literally killing me to watch me pulling at my rings like this. I want to swap my hand every time. Jeez. Okay, let me see. What else do I want to make sure you... Oh, our paper. So our paper is the best. Literally the best. It's velvety soft and it has the perfect slip. And the slip is just how your pen writes on it, how it feels. And she is 148 GSM thickness. Now, most papers are either 100 or 120 GSM. So our paper is virtually no bleed. It has a thickness, but it doesn't bulk up your planner. Now, if you like the Tomoe River paper that comes in Hobonichi, which is super lightweight, a little bit transparent. This is not that. This is the opposite of that. Now, I love Tomoe River paper. I think it's beautiful. I think it has its place, though, like for journaling, sketching. But I personally don't love it for planning. Our insert paper is a beautiful creamy white. My printer and I went through it to find this because it's not standard. And I was very specific in what I wanted it to look like, but also how I wanted it to feel. You're going to love it. It's literally the best. Okay, so now let's talk dashboards, the pretty stuff. I use dashboards like a cover for my sections, and I switch these out all the time. It's the perfect simplest way to tweak up the vibe of your planner. You can quickly go from light and airy to dark and moody in less than 30 seconds. But I'm obsessed with dashboards. Now, we use specialty heavy-duty coated cardstock, and I don't like really calling it cardstock, honestly, because it's such good quality. They're soft to the touch. The images are super vibrant. They're double-sided. But the luster finish that's on each dashboard, it prevents fingerprints and it has like the perfect amount of gloss. It's almost sparkly. They aren't sparkly or glittery, but in certain lights, they kind of are. It's the coolest thing. But they're waterproof and the resin coating allows for super bright, long-lasting color. And the durability without the extra lamination is awesome. Like, you cannot pull these out. So I'm currently working on our next line of dashboards, and they are gorgeous. I'm hoping to finish them up by next week, but the goal was originally by the end of the month. However, creating stuff like this, that pretty stuff, is literally one of my favorite things to do aside from packing orders. If I could just do those two things, life would be really good all the time. So here I'm trying to figure out my vibe for this next month as though I can't switch it out, right? Like, these decisions are hardest for me. I don't know why, but these are the dashboards that I already have printed out and in my stash. We have more in the shop, but this is what I'm working with. And of course, the one that I've decided on, I don't have the entire line printed out, but I'll do that later. The cover really is what I care about most here. Now, one of the most common questions I get is, will we do other sizes in our binders and inserts? Currently, we specialize in A5/6 ring, but down the road, yes, that's the plan. But I don't know. I love this size. And if you need bigger, we do have our clip folios that hold the planner pads. You can see what that looks like in the shop, but it's the same concept: monthly calendar, weekly planner, to-do list. All of those things are in notepad form. Well, except the calendar. That's more like a booklet. But that system is actually what we launched Live Happy Label with a couple of years ago. But I realized pretty quickly, because you guys kept asking, we needed something more compact, something that was more easily just put it in your purse or put it in your bag, for the on-the-go busy woman. So that's why we added in the A5 size, and the rest is history. But as I'm building the foundation for Live Happy Label, and I'm creating my systems and figuring out our process, I wanted to really focus and perfect just this one thing before we branch out and add in other sizes like personal rings, A6, pocket, B6. There are so many. Now, our monthly calendar inserts, both the dated for 2025 and the undated, all come with a yearly at a glance for 2025 and 2026 that does include holidays. And then this is the important dates to remember by month. I've already filled this out, so I'm just going to save time by moving this right into my new setup. It's where I keep all my birthdays, anniversaries, so I know what's happening or what's coming up. It's actually super helpful for when you're setting up a new planner and you're adding those special dates into your monthly calendars. It's like a super quick reference guide, and it's really handy. Now let's talk deco cards, or decorative planner pieces. Now, as I said before, aesthetics are real, and I want things to be pretty. I prefer my inside pages, like my to-dos, my weekly planners, to be more minimal. A few stickers for sure. Like, I love simple florals and botanicals and icons, but I like it to be clean, not super, super busy. My internal pages are there to keep me productive and organized. Like, this is a working planner. I am in this all day, every day. But when it comes to the outside and the covers and my pockets, give me all the pretty. I get that quick dopamine hit when I open my planner, and that's important throughout the day, that little jolt of happy. So I am in love with the contrast of this the black Lost Cauldron card. Now, I ordered from them. It's actually their business card, but I'm obsessed and it's inspired me. So I'm actually now going to work on a new line of deco cards. So stay tuned. I'm going to try and get it together. I'll try and get it done and launch them at the same time as this next dashboard line launch. But I am obsessed with this setup. I'm so happy I just decided to start from scratch, kind of like clean the slate and start over. And I've got new inserts and it just feels so good. Okay, so here's my favorite pen lineup. Number one, I love a Sharpie felt tip, the fine point. I love the Pilot G2s, but if I have a choice, I'm reaching for the tool. You can get them at Office Depot or on Amazon. All right, let's do a quick overview. And by the way, I like to clip my pages, like the pages that I don't often need access to, like the covers and things like that. I attach them to the tab with the paper clip so that when I open that tab, I get to the page that I want right away without having to flip through. So here's my setup. I have all 12 monthly calendars, January through December. Each month has a space for goals and intentions, a current monthly overview with the listed holidays, and then the previous month and the next month at a glance. So I've got all 12 months here in my setup. Now for the weekly planners, like I said before, this is the time blocking layout. I'm keeping about 2 months worth. I've put the others aside because if I kept all 12 months in here, my planner would be way too full. And I'm trying to be mindful to not pack it in so much so that it gets hard to either add things or take things out. So then I have a handful of to-do lists for when I need them, a bunch of mixed note pages, and then my task and habit trackers. Now I may switch those last two, but I need to live in this binder for a little bit and really get a feel for how it's going to work for me. But I'm thinking I'm going to love it. All right, guys, if you've stuck with me this far, thank you so much. I hope this video has made you happy in some way. And if you need a planner for 2025, check out our shop at livehappylabel.com and I'll pack up your goodies and I'll send them out right away. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.